Hey everyone, and welcome to my review of Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Now, I know about the board game and stuff, and I know there's a ton of lore and expansions and all that, but this is all I know about Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon. Yes, this is my entire knowledge base. So if I get anything wrong to do with the lore, oops. Now I have seen Jeremy Irons' Dungeons and Dragons, but because I haven't seen it in, well, probably since it came out, yeah, I don't remember a lot of it. So I'm going to have to judge this just by itself, without any of the lore, etc., etc. So let's get into it. Right, the actors. Chris Pine as Edkin is alright. You know, I wasn't, it was alright. Michelle Rodriguez is good as Holga. I liked Holga. I think we could have given her a couple more lines, you know, really delved more into her character. They go into a bit of her backstory, but I'd rather had character, you know, just a bit more. Justice Smith as Simon is good. I think he played his role very well. Sophia Lillis as Doric was alright, but again, a lot of this will come down to the script because she hasn't a massive amount of lines, and so there's only so much she can do. Cole Goodman as Kira is alright. Daisy Head as Sophina again is alright. I would have expected a little bit more. You know, again, this comes down to the director, so we can't blame everything on the actors. Reg Jean Page is good as Sank. In fact, I would say he's probably gives the best performance, which is ironic, which I'll go into later. Hugh Grant as Forge was, well, underwhelming, sorry. Jeez, yes, underwhelming. And no, I don't cut anything out, so if I fuck up, I fuck up. Right, so Hugh Grant as Forge was underwhelming. I would have liked someone a little bit more flamboyant. He's meant to come off as this con man who can convince people, but again, I would have wanted more. Yes. Edgin has a good backstory which sets up the movie, but one thing is confusing. He's a trained spy and warrior in the Harper's faction. I don't know if this is a real faction in D&D, but I'm sure someone can tell me. So he's a trained spy and warrior in the Harper's faction, and yet when it comes to the spying and fighting for the rest of the movie, he's useless. You know, you can't set this guy up at the start to be good in all these things, and then throughout the movie he's not good at any of them. I liked the escape from prison. I thought that whole section was very good. They run into Forge and learn about his betrayal, and we set off on the adventure. We see Sophia talking to a mysterious shade. Now, spoilers or whatever. He's not in the rest of the movie, so I'm guessing this is setting up a sequel. You know, where Sophina, his minion, gets defeated in this movie, but he comes back in the sequel to really ramp things up, maybe? I don't know. We have the best part of the movie, which I have to say was really good fun. Then, about an hour in, we're introduced to a new character of Sank, who then leads the movie for the next 20 minutes and then disappears. To put it in perspective, imagine you're watching Lord of the Rings, right? And when the Fellowship start off on their journey, and Aragorn is leading, all of a sudden Bob shows up and for 20 minutes Bob is in control and does everything and leads the party, and then 20 minutes later disappears. You know, that's why I said about and I don't know, I think this is partly French, but Regine John Page, you know, great performance, but why is he there leading this movie when we have a lead in Chris Pine? You know, it's not like, you know, you add on a character through the movie and, you know, the way they do with Simon and Doric, but for some reason he comes in and leads the movie for 20 minutes, and anyway, I don't understand. Right. I mean, it should have been just the team going through that dungeon. And, you know, while Sank is fighting in this dungeon, there's a collection of scenes, right, where he's fighting all these bad guys, and they're literally standing off to the side doing nothing. We don't see them running away, we don't see them maybe setting up a bit of defenses, or they're just literally standing off screen doing nothing while he spends like 4 minutes fighting these people. That doesn't make any sense. You can't have these people standing off the side, you know, Michelle Rodriguez, Holga, you know, brute force, big axe, Doric, shapeshifter, Simon, magician, and yet while Zank is fighting all these people, they're just standing outside doing nothing. So I don't get that at all. I did like the obese dragon. I thought that was a nice touch. We have a fun part with the helmet. We have a fun and interesting counter heist. We have a good fight scene with Holga, in which something happens to her axe which immediately made me think of Marcus Hines' Dwarves quadrilogy. If you've read the Marcus Hines Dwarves quadrilogy and you see this movie, you'll know what I'm talking about, but it made me think of that, what happened to the axe. So then they get put into a drop, the Summer Games I believe it's called. We get Easter eggs back to we have a good but overlong end fight scene, and we have a very good ending. So in the end, there's a lot of things to enjoy about this movie, and I wouldn't say the things I didn't enjoy were bad, more annoying or confusing. You know, why were this here, that sort of thing. And you know, the movie is 2 hours and 5 minutes long. I would say you could easily take 15 plus minutes out of the movie and have a much better paced movie. It would flow better. As it is, you know, some of the scenes go on too long. I wasn't a big fan of Holga's backstory. I would have liked it to have been something a bit more. So in the end, I did enjoy this movie, even for the annoying and confusing bits that were in it. But I'm not going to overpraise it. Basically, a lot of it is generic. You see a lot of common, you know. In the end, this movie does what it says on the tin, is what I would say. You know, it doesn't do anything more or less than any movie in the genre, well, in modern day. But it's not something you're going to be rushing out to watch again. I would say watch it once if you're a D&D fan or a fantasy fan. Give it a go. But it does what it says in the tin. So my final scores, as a critic, I would give it a 5 out of 10. You know, it had some good sets, the music was good, there was even some good practical effects, but when it's CGI you can tell it's CGI. It's very blatant. And from a nerd perspective, I'll also give it a 5 because I did enjoy the movie. Even the bits that were overall it was an enjoyable time, again, just a little bit too long. So yeah, that's it. That's my final scores, 5 and 5. Have you seen it? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And until next time, take care of yourselves.